Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome back to From the Depths Allies Adrift with Avok.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see if I can land on your head.
I hope not. Wow, you suck. I wasn't even moving.
Yeah, but there's a slight lag. I'm going to blame the lag.
Oh, yeah, blame the
Oh,
lag.
lag's
Yeah,
fine.
of course. Of course. Right. In this episode, as in the last, we will be working a little bit on the bomber. This time, though, we're going to be working on the weapon system. Though I'm hoping that EnterElysium will reorientate the bomber so that it's not kind of pitched
The
upwards.
problem is that the balloons are deployed, but they didn't undeploy, and
Bloody balloons.
it's a water AI. Like, you get water start AI, so it has balloons when you're in the water to get you into the air so your jets work. Problem is, sometimes they just don't detach. I've never worked out what the state is.
Trying to shoot them.
That would also work. That would be the more fun way of doing it.
Yes. I'm all about the fun. Right. Okay. So, do you want to go over how this is all going to work?
Okay. So, because I've been banned from using cheaty spin blocks,
Why have you been banned from using cheaty spin
because
blocks?
they're cheaty,
That's right. How are they cheaty?
because anything on a spin block doesn't calculate physics, so it doesn't count as air resistance.
So basically, you can have an enormous, weird cannon thing on a spin block, and it wouldn't create any drag for your plane, would it?
No, but
Which is cheating, isn't it?
technically it's a feature.
This cockpit is cheaty. I've just realized, but
Well, yeah, but also you don't need a cockpit. I could literally just stick a.
I know. Yeah, it just looks awesome,
Yeah.
so we'll keep it.
So instead, because I've been banned, because Avok's mean, I'm gonna build a proper weapon system, which is gonna increase the cross section, but it also means I can't really use variable thrusters, because variable thrusters don't have a delay to start, and I need to put something in front of them to shield them, because the front of the missile block is calculated as being really drag intensive, drag intensive, like crazy drag intensive.
So basically, you're going to have a bit of sloping at the very front of the missile to create, to help air move over it. So it's not just a blunt block that the air is smacking up against. So we're going to be relying on the missile literally dropping out of the sort of missile block, going straight down, and then after a second or so, kicking in its short range thrusters. Is that
pretty
right?
much. Now. Okay. The problem with that is that sometimes you can have the missiles, they drop out and you're going so fast that they end up hitting you and then they detonate and then that's bad. We'll see how it goes. We may need to put, a safety fuse on them. Okay.
The other thing you could do is you could have if this is moving that fast, you could have the missiles fire backwards.
Yeah, the problem with that is I'm intending to use a missile AI, a lure missile AI, and it doesn't, as far as I'm aware, actually know what backwards is.
But that's fine, because if you create an artificial restriction on the missile control block to say you can only shoot when your target
but the missile AI needs
close.
a forward-facing angle as part of the promise of the code.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
it does know what backwards is.
Yeah, but it doesn't let you enter a backwards variable. Because it says, what is the angle from 0 ahead that you can fire these missiles at? So you can't tell it to fire from an angle of minus 180 or whatever.
Well, 180 is backwards.
Yeah, but then it'll be okay, that means I can fire all around. Because it assumes,
from 0 to 180 is fine. Right, I get it. I understand.
So if I grab...
So how are we going to be building? Where are the missile systems going to go, first and foremost?
Under both wings, we're going to have full of missiles. And each missile gets its own control block. This is important. It's not actually that important, but it makes it easier.
Yes, this is something I'm going to be working on, the hook shot as well. I'm going to jump down there at the moment and start having a look. I'm kind of deciding that with the speed that the torpedoes pull the hook shot in towards its opponent, it almost makes being deep down a danger to it, because it can't correct its angle fast enough to avoid collisions, and that's what killed it the last time. So I'm thinking that the hookshot is going to have to be something that operates closer to the surface, maybe at a very, very small depth, maybe only like 10 meters under the water. But generally speaking, it's going to rely on its torpedoes to pull it to its opponent rather than using its own propellers to get there. So, with that said, I'm going to jump onto the hookshot now. There we go. And there's also another thing I want to do down here. Really? Why? Where am I? Oh, there we are. I want to change the missile system as well.
Okay.
I don't think we need 4. And if we do, we can have 4 individual missile systems controlled by one, a single AI, I think. I think that would be a better situation to use.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I need 4, though, ultimately. I think this may actually be a detriment. Where is the missile control block? Missile control block is there.
I could get extra space by insetting missile control blocks into the wings themselves. But it would be more complicated to do, and I'm lazy.
Okay.
It's a problem.
Yes. Being lazy is definitely a problem. I agree. How fast do these go? They've only got 3 propellers. I mean, I could make these larger torpedoes and could travel faster, and would give me more cable as well, which would be quite nice. So that said, I guess the torpedo system I have right now works. It gets to its target. It's just mostly the issue with the hookshot itself and trying to pilot it. So I'm going to remove the AI to start with, and then we'll redesign this area.
That did sound like a fairly large but, though. Like, it's fine, but...
It doesn't work. Which is generally a very, very big down point.
Yes. Although, that said, that wouldn't stop some of the projects that have come out of the military.
Maybe. Maybe. Thankfully, I'm not a part of the military, so we don't have to worry about that. Now then, what I would like to do...
Not planning on using this series as your employment portfolio.
No, I'm not. That's a very good point. Okay, I think I'll have 4 control blocks.
4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sounded like you were getting ready to dance.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, do this. Make it so.
Oh god, am I dancing with Captain Picard now?
No,
Oh.
you're not that important yet. One day you will earn the right to dance with Picard, but that day is not today.
One day I will get to wear a red uniform. Ah, but that means I could also be a red shirt. Like, that's the problem with the color change of the uniforms that they did between the old ones and like the new generation, the next generation.
Yeah.
Is that now you're not sure who's command and who's red shirt?
Generation.
Shh! I didn't sleep much last night. It's fine. Could be the
new generation.
Da, 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 da.
Right. Sorry, that was just fantastic. How much cable do we have here? 200 meters of cable plus 800. So I've got 1,000 meters of cable here. If I add an extra missile block, then I think I will. I do think I will. Okay. Fortunately, I didn't add in the mirror line, but it's fine.
Sure it is.
No one cares about a mirror line.
To be fair, that's pretty standard, you know. Kind of expect this from you now.
If I stop doing it, people would be confused. Maybe a little bit
We wonder
afraid.
who they were watching.
We need a harpoon. Actually, does the harpoon need to go at the front? No, does not, which is good.
I've also started doing the non-lazy thing.
What's the non-lazy thing?
I'm
I approve
properly
of it,
doing
I
my
think.
missiles. Insetting
well
them into
done.
the wings slightly.
Well done. You're learning.
Now we're thinking with portals.
No.
Shame. I like thinking with portals.
Right, with this, I've got 200 here, 400, 800. There's the cable drums. We've now got 400, 800, 1,200, 1,600, 1,800 meters worth of cable on these.
That's a long cable.
Well, it's not going to have its own propeller, so it's going to need to be able to reach things. I could perhaps give it its own propeller.
Probably needs at least a propeller.
Yeah, we'll have one propeller
I was
regardless.
going to move on the strategic map if it doesn't have the Nautilus.
Otherwise, it'll be fine. Well, that's the idea. This will be anchored to the back of the Nautilus. Maybe the Nautilus will deploy it only in battles. So, only a couple of things are going to ever survive long enough for this to get engaged with them. But...
Things we specifically let, get engaged by it because we want to keep them because they're pretty.
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
There we go. Named the missile the Stingray.
Stingray. Da-da-da-da-da, Stingray. Stingray. Every time you fire that missile, I will be doing that now. You do realize.
Okay. I'm just going to go along with what you say.
It's the best way for everyone concerned, really.
Perhaps. Certainly it does make life easier, if nothing else.
I was going to go for more interesting. But yeah, that works too.
Right, we want target prioritization card, and we want a naval card. Where are we?
2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Disable reverse. Turning circle can be whatever it wants. Oh dear, it's turning on. No, stop. There we go. We want leave broadside above this range. That'll do. Normal broadside angle. 0, just go straight to it. Approach distance. That all seems reasonable.
Okay. So far, this thing has 28 missiles.
Okay.
I'm debating if it's enough. I have my doubts.
I do too. I doubt you all the time.
Wow. I mean, I would say I'm
How far
offended.
did these go? You already knew.
I mean, deep down, if I'm honest with myself.
Right, okay, so minimum range doesn't matter. Maximum range, I'm not going to say it has to attack things at 1,800. I'm going to say 1,750. Maximum altitude, no more than 5. Of course, it's easier to do it this way. There we go. At this point, I'm just going to take the propellers off and leave the ion thruster.
Okay. That makes sense. Propellers can cause issues.
Here we go. Yes.
Inverted commas.
Go forth. No, go forth. I don't think my ion thruster is really thrusting. Maybe I'm going to need some propellers.
The problem with the ion thruster is it is so low power by comparison.
There we go. Moving forward very gently. The ion thruster was really only ever put there so that it would be able to navigate through from the surface, so it wouldn't need any funky stuff to get below the waterline. Right, if we're above that, then we want to... Well, altitude is greater than minus 50. Let's say greater than minus 10. Test. This one every input seconds. This one when it's lower than 55. Let's put this to 20. There we go. Angle is fine. Okay. I've got a lure box 2. Oh, really? Really? Why?
Has something gone on shenanigans?
Yes. Yes. It basically nosedived into a sandbank.
Because it instantly went to max pitch.
The roll thrusters are so amusing. It's just wobbling all the time. But now it should actually be trying to maintain a reasonable height, just below the surface of the water at this point. Full speed ahead. I mean, it can get up to 7.7 by itself. That's not too bad, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to test it by turning on its AI combat mode. See what it does by itself. Does it do anything dumb?
I mean, if it takes after me.
Should really be trying to get down right now, not up. There we go, that's a bit better. I mean, this is fine, honestly. I think the hook shot could do with a lot of work in certain ways, but I'm generally okay with the way it looks and how it performs. Now it's got 4 torpedoes as well that operate at extreme range. Okay, I'm good with that. We'll test this on the fields of battle. It'll die horribly. It'll be glorious.
And then we'll just keep tweaking it until we get something that vaguely possibly could maybe work?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's how it's going to work.
Okay. Well, I have almost finished putting the weapon systems in.
Fantastic. Let's have a look at these. Oh. Oh. Very nice indeed. Very large missiles, these.
I can actually get another one in.
So you've got basically 4 sets on each wing, yeah?
Yes. So, if I put...
They're different lengths, though. I see.
Yeah, so because I had issues with the front one, I was just like, screw it, I'm going to make these 6 lengths. So I've got, I think, 24 that are going to be a length of 7.
Yeah.
Let me just check the back ones are a length of 7. Yes, they are. The front ones are a length of 7. They are. Ooh. Nope, the front ones are short by 1. Let me just change that. 1, 2, 3. And then we have these ones that are length of 5. Now, the problem is I just couldn't really fit another length of 7 in, so I was like, 5's not bad. They could always be drop torpedoes.
Yeah, certainly could. Do you want me to set them up as torpedoes?
Sure.
Right,
they will need a lure guidance for the warhead. Although, to be fair, that can be put anywhere on a missile, so it could be at the back if the drag on it is too low. But I think the drag is one of the lower drags.
So if this is just a torpedo, then all we need is torpedo propellers, a fuel tank. I'll only give them 3 torpedo propellers, though. That means they're going to be able to travel a fair distance on 1 fuel tank. You're going to want... What kind of warhead do you want?
What do you think for a... Well, we are going up against less wooden guys now and more tough dudes.
Well, it's not going to be moving fast enough to make use of a thumper, so we could have 2 fragmentation, because it's going to be guided by lure, isn't it? Okay, that's fine by me. So this will just have a ballast tank set to neutral buoyancy. I'm a very big fan of torpedo bombers. I really, really like them.
Okay, well, we've got 8 torpedoes on this thing, so they should be good. Now, of course, the one downside of using lure in a torpedo system is torpedoes go slower than missiles. They have to go through water, etc. They need to be dropped into the water to move. And that means that the lure is going to be guiding them for longer. Yes. And that means you've got more lure ticks going on because there'll be more torpedoes in the water.
No, that's fine. The fins will allow some guidance as they're falling from the sky.
Yeah.
I'll just save this as Stingray Mark II.
EMP.
Come on, I thought you were going to do the theme song to Stingray.
Stingray. Stingray. Sorry, I let you down, mate.
I know. See, this is why I don't trust you.
I mean, you've got a good point.
Promise me you're going to be singing the theme tune to Stingray, and then you don't. Aquamarina wouldn't have let me down like this. Just putting that out there. You've missed the boat now. You're not going to be my Marina. I'm sorry. I was considering it for a time, but no.
I'm sorry,
Not
man.
now.
I let you down. I let myself down, and frankly, I think I let the team down.
Right, do you want me to set up the short-range thrusters with a delay on your missiles?
Yes, that should be a thing.
How long of a delay? 2 seconds, perhaps?
The first one should be a 2-second delay. The second one should be like a... I'm thinking that you'd need to stage them, because the short-range thruster only works for 20 seconds, right? Will they fly further than 20 seconds?
Yeah, they'll fly up to 60 seconds.
Or with that amount of fuel tanks?
No. 4 fuel tanks for 1 thruster to get its max range.
In which case, we don't need 2 thrusters unless we want to burn super fast.
Which is up to you.
I don't think we need to. We've got enough missiles coming in. Unless someone has like a really good missile defense system, we should be able to saturate.
Okay. By the way, I put the lure receiver not at the nose of the torpedoes. Does it need to?
No. And in fact, EMP has a... No, actually, they all have... The lure has the lowest base drag, which is why I put it in the front.
So the lure should be at the nose.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I could give it an extra fuel tank just so it can go a little bit further.
Yeah.
With its... Well, actually, 4 it's going to reach.
Okay.
It's going with.
Maybe a safety fuse is the safest course of action. I mean, I don't like using them because they always feel like wasted space, wasted potential. But considering they are dropped right from next to our ammo supply, and we will be turning at high speed.
What are we going to be calling this missile?
What do you want to call it? I don't know. I'm terrible at missile names.
Marina.
Oh, it's their missile. Really? Marina?
We're playing From the Depths. It's probably going to spend most of its time hitting ships. Okay, we won't call it Marina then. What do you want to call it? Mr. I'm terrible at names, but I don't like that one.
Davy Jones. Because it sends people to Davy Jones' locker.
How does Dave become Davy? Is it just get rid of the E and I?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Although then you look at it and you go, oh, well, you're speaking. That says Davy Jones.
Shut your mouth. Stop mocking my people.
I'll mock every people, man. Okay, I need to set up... This is the most annoying part for me, is I need to set up the ejection angle. Because you can't just set up ejection angle for one and then assign to all same length.
Oh, interestingly, you've got a bit of an odd thing going on with the way you've got your missile set up.
Yeah, one of them is actually attached to the other block.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case with the long missiles at the front as well, for exactly the same reason.
Doesn't look like it.
Well, no, but it'll use the same targeting. It is attached, but I've only told the missiles to spread. Well, you can easily check.
It's not. It's attached to 9985. We're good.
Oh,
Woo.
That's interesting. That's very
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know how it's coming up with that and it's not doing it for the back one.
As long as it's not doing it, it's fine. There we go. Davy Jones missiles there set up. The other ones on this side as well. Very nice just being able to load them from the template.
I just pulled the block and replaced it.
Yeah. I suspected it was something to do with the order that they were.
Yeah, because blocks do get an index when you place them down, because it's important for stuff like when you call them via lure. Yeah. Now, you can't see that number unless you expose it by logging it or something, but they do get an index. And I believe I've nearly set up all the ejection elevations, which is an incredibly tedious, boring part, because they do not copy. I wish they did. I really wish they did.
There we go. All missiles are now set up.
Sweet. Well, I've got to do the elevations on the other wing once I finish this one.
Okay.
Although I could go and grab the missile AI, and you could do the other wing if you wanted.
What I'm going to do, actually, is I was going to load in one of the Nautilus and have the hook shot assigned to it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We also need to do testing with the missile and the torpedo to find out some stats about them, because the missile AI I'm going to use is a very good missile AI developed by someone.
But it needs a lot of information.
Yeah, but it needs a lot of information because the missile needs to know how long it takes to get to its maximum range so that it can anticipate launching for targets. It needs to know its maximum speed. It needs to know, other variable factors like its maximum range to fire at, which is kind of obvious one. And using that, it can get really accurate predictions sometimes. but you need to give it all that data.
Yes. Right. I'm going to have the hookshot merge with the Leviathan. I'm going to rename this fleet.
Levy shot.
The Levy shot.
Well, I
Okay.
tried to do like hooky thin. I was just like, that's not going to work. The levy shot would. Okay, so this thing packs 24 7 missiles and 8 5 torpedoes. What have you got?
No longer a HMS though. It loses now. It's no longer its own ship.
Well, I guess so. It's not capable of really operating outside of its mother carrier, so.
No, I'm going to load in the Leviathan. I mean, it does have actually 2 propellers and an ion thruster, so it can kind of. Wow, that loaded in so fast.
It didn't for me. My game froze for a second. I was like, please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash. I was so worried.
Why do I always end up in the naughty room? Is the game trying to tell me something? I disapprove. So mightily.
I'm just going to put this out there that I approve of the game.
You would. You traitorous dog.
Traitorous? When did I betray you?
Just then, saying I belong to the naughty room. I consider this treachery.
Man, you're repressing my freedom of speech.
Right, now, how do we set this up? I'm going to need...
Pina colada.
the levy shot. Select this vehicle. On.
Ah!
It was just deciding that the levy shot now belonged to the Leviathan, that's all. Don't worry. I need to make sure that this comes in at the right angle, though. Where is the levy shot? There it comes. Please don't crash. Please don't crash with anything important. Wow.
We could get more torpedoes on them if we really wanted. There is space at the back.
So
We
close.
could get another 8 torpedoes on this. Man, not 8. 6. Oh, but man, we've over doubled our cross section.
Well, that's just the way it's going to have to be.
Fine.
It's just going to have to be right there. I can hold her out a little bit further, though.
Okay.
There we go.
Missile AI.
Right. Now all I need to do... how do I... Is there a ACB for pulling something in if it's damaged or anything like that?
You can tell it, if you give it a ACB, there is an ACB function for dock, and then you can go if health below.
Yeah, but can I do that from the mothership?
No.
Let me have a quick look.
Because the mothership cannot read the status of your small craft.
No, I thought as much, but someone was saying that they set theirs up like that. I was like,
They must have meant on the... No.
What kind of wizardry are you using?
I swear even Lua can't read any statuses about vehicles from a different vehicle.
Ammo, battery, fuel, control received to your, hostile missile closer, input seconds after spawn.
Ah!
Activate when enemy range is greater than, say, 2,000. Actually, I don't really want this. Yeah, if an enemy, there's no enemy within 5,000,
Dock.
or there are no enemies, then recall all assigned
Now,
vehicles.
bear in mind that there were shenanigans with that, combined with the vehicle subspawner, that caused me to send my helicopters in my single player to space.
That sounds glorious.
Every time you would load them in, for some
The
reason,
levy shot demands to be a space submarine.
it might happen, you could try it,
Harpoon.
but because I'd set them to a vehicle spawner and to a docking thing, every time they spawned in, they went, whee, and just went up to space. And no idea why.
Sounds glorious.
They just kept accelerating upwards. They went, well, didn't accelerate. They just didn't decelerate when they hit space. Right.
If an enemy is within 2,000, then release all assigned vehicles.
I'm going to need to do some shenanigans for a second.
Okay. What are these shenanigans you're talking about?
I need to grab the weapon AI. Now, I could go onto GitHub and get it. Oh god, I just accelerated very fast. But if I go onto GitHub, it won't be the full code. It will only be the basic code. And oh wow, I'm lagging. I am yo-yoing. Rubber band is gone. Whoop. Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now.
Okay, so good. It's not just me.
There's definitely some spikes going on there. Something was being calculated by the game.
So if I bring in my bomber from my single player, I can just literally rip out its AI.
Okay, well that's fine. Just load it in for a moment, rip out its AI, then despawn.
I'll need to build it, that's the thing.
Why did you not prepare this ahead of time, you fool?
Well, I forgot.
Alright, if vehicle health is below 50%, docking stations and dock with mothership.
Repair tentacle, compact repair tentacle. To be fair, we could do compact repair tentacles here.
Yep. Now at this point, what I really need is a sub-vehicle spawner so I can attach the lever shot to...
if this goes to space...
Yeah. It's going to be glorious because it will come back down. It's got an ion thruster.
By the way, I'm watching my bomber be built right now, and it's so beautiful. I love how these build craft just so quickly. Right, let's go find some weapon AI. Ah! And I cannot tell the lure to run, because I am not the host. I forgot that.
Ah! Oh, you should have thought about this one before.
Well, it just means you have to come over and initialize it.
Right, spawn distance, you can spawn out at 100. Confirm selection. There we go. Levy shot is now permanently linked to the Leviathan.
Sweet.
Indeed.
Control.
Which means at this point, I can just take the Leviathan out of play, and the Levy shot should go with it. There we are. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, so you want me over at your crazy doohickey, yes? Called Murray.
Well, I've just ripped the AI out and I've put it into the top craft. Apply changes. It won't save, but that's fine. And
you've basically rebuilt Murray.
It's completely different.
You've even got the tail, the rudders, and the back that you wanted at the build. The engines are the same. Oh my lord!
By the way, do you think that the Murray looks a bit like a Vulcan, apart from the twin tail?
Not really.
Okay, that's what people in my comment section were saying. It was like, oh, that's your tribute to the Vulcan. I was like, I didn't intend it to be.
I do like the colours, though.
Yeah.
But all of these are on spin blocks, I take it.
Do you want to unhook it and see how fast it goes?
Cheeky swine, no. Nope. Right, what did you want me to do? You want me to start
we need to test the weapons first to check their data, and then I can feed the data into the block. We need, if I can go find the AI stuff.
Some enemies, do we? We need some enemies.
Oh, we don't need enemies. We just need to fire the missile. Just in a straight line.
Right, well, break down your... are you done with the Murray now?
I believe so, yes.
Do we have a despawner? Right, well, you work on that. And whilst you're despawning that, we're going to wrap this episode up there. And in the next, we're going to test out our new bomber, which may or may not be more or less a copy of the Murray.
It's a non-cheaty copy.
It's a non-cheaty. That's right. Our bomber is infinitely better in every imaginable way. But we'll have to check out how that works in the next episode.
If you have liked the episode, please remember to like the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Also, go check out the other person's point of view, because we're working on separate things yet again. And maybe you will actually like Havoc.
What?
It's possible. I know. Some people juggle geese, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, oh yeah, no one likes Havoc.
That's
Yeah.
true. Take care,
Very
everyone.
shiny.